Welcome to Root Cellar, an inquisitive look into sustainable food preservation and ancient wisdom for the modern world. Today, we're talking about an internet gardening trend known as the vertical potato tower. You may have seen videos circulating around the internet showing people growing dukes of potatoes vertically inside different vessels like old tires or boxes of created out of old wood, claiming that they have yields upwards of hundreds of pounds and they take up zero space, and they are able to do it on their patio in their condo on the 10th floor of a skyscraper. And today we're testing that out for ourselves and we're seeing what kind of results we got. Admittedly, I was a skeptic from the beginning, but I couldn't resist trying it out myself. So we're gonna see what happens. I know one of the ways that people were doing it at the start, it seemed like, was with old recycled tires. I was a little bit worried about those tires off-gassing in high temperatures. So I opted instead for some simple wire, some hay, manure, and some potting soil. So let's see how it goes. Stick around for our episode of Mythbusters, if you will. All right, this is a potato tower. You may have seen these circulating on the internet in the last couple of years. It involves wire or some sort of material to hold it together. You insulate it then with straw, and then you control the soil by mixing whether it's potting soil, manure, fertilizer, just to get a really vibrant, healthy soil to start with. And it's a vertical system, so the dunes are planted on top of each other, and theoretically you can keep on adding dirt and grow this thing higher and higher. We're gonna weigh up the potatoes that we get, and I'm hoping that we have a good variety of potatoes and a worthwhile harvest. Providing this works out okay, this would be a useful system for someone that is lacking in space. It doesn't have the traditional square footage for a normal garden, normal row potatoes. I'm excited about it. This is my first year doing it, so it's a total experiment. I did have another one sitting beside here, but I made it too small, so it didn't quite have the proper surface area to grow the potatoes. Should this work out well, I should be able to keep this wire and these little wooden stands, these stakes I use just to kind of keep it secure, in the garden shed and have it for next year. And I should be able to just take this soil, put it in my garden box behind me, and then move it back to here. So if this works, it's going to be pretty sweet, and we're going to show you, and we will weigh out exactly what we get today. So let's test this internet trend, the vertical potato tower. So I was waiting for most of the greenery to die off on this plant before I harvested, so it was growing all around the entire structure this summer. It was vibrant. This is the last few kind of living plants on the top here, and I think we're close enough to harvest now. Most of the plants have died off, so I want to try and get it before it's not rotten or moldy. So it has had well over 100 days, and kind of your typical growing season, maybe a tiny bit longer than your field potato. So let's see how it goes. So as you can see, the potato tower was a staggering bust. Very few potatoes in there, very small. We only got one variety, none of the fingerlings worked, and it's odd because, like I mentioned before, all the smaller version I did, all the varieties grew, but again they were small. So I think I will have to consult an expert on this. I'm not sure what exactly went wrong, but yeah, this one, only the red survived, and they're very tiny. So all right, so why didn't it work? According to cultivariable.com, potato towers don't work any better than growing in containers or growing in the ground, all else being equal. There are two insurmountable problems with the vertical potato growing concept. Number one, tuber production is limited by foliage area. So we have a limited amount of space for that tuber to grow and produce, unlike in the ground or a large container. Number two, domesticated potatoes don't produce additional stolons past the first few nodes above the seed piece. There is no excess energy for the plant to use to produce more tubers, no matter how many stolons you tricked it to produce. If you somehow force the plant to produce 10 levels of stolons, then you would get 10 times as many tubers that would be 1/10 as large. While this was a disappointing experiment, one can't undervalue the importance of root vegetables like potatoes. They are full of sustenance, they store well, are low maintenance, and have many practical applications. I guess this little experiment taught me one thing. It makes me ask the question, do we really need a better way to grow spuds? It's already pretty easy in comparison to other vegetables, and in a place like Lethbridge, most people have adequate space to grow potatoes like they have been for hundreds of years. Ironically, my mother pulled out an incredibly high yield of potatoes this year, doing it the old-fashioned way, in the garden with a little bit of mulch. So I will be borrowing from her harvest this year, and I will also probably be growing my potatoes the old-fashioned way next year. So thank you for being a part of this gardening experiment, this internet trend with us. Unfortunately, it didn't work for us, but if you have any additional tips or tricks, modifications on this theory, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.